What's up, my lovelies? Welcome back to another Faith Haven discussion. If you are new here, Faith Haven discussions are just where we sit down and I talk about some of the things that I'm kind of dealing with in my walk with Christ. Um, if that sounds like something up your alley, stick around, see what the vibes are. And if you are returning, what's up? Hey, welcome back. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So today, y'all, we are going to be talking about the cost of disobedience. Ooh, because when I say even snatch me up, even snatching me up gently by my neck. And I'm like, yep, I'm just go ahead and come on here and talk about it. So in the last Faith Haven discussion, I want to say that I talked about oh Lord, I don't even know. But I do know that I was just speaking about trusting in God's plans. That's what it was. So I was just speaking about like the transition that I'm kind of currently in, going from walking in my plans to walking in his will. And since that video, I haven't really made any efforts of walking in his will. I've been being real disobedient. And I was just laying in the bed when I woke up today. And I was scrolling on Instagram a little bit. And I'm just like, what am I doing? God then gave me instructions. And he is going one of two things. He either gonna snatch me up by my neck until I do what he tell me to do, or because I just don't want to listen, he's just gonna be like, all right, do your thing. I'm not gonna say it again because I already told you what to do. I told you what to do, and you just not doing it. And you got free will, so I can't make you do nothing. So the choice is yours. Y'all, I got up so quick. I got up out that bed so quick and got dressed like my cousin, my cousin over here, y'all. And I came in here and started getting, she like, yeah, you got dressed pretty quick. Yeah, girl, because I'm not finna, oh Lord, I'm not finna keep being disobedient. Like, I just can't do that. I can't. You better answer. He, you better do something. Okay. You better do something. So here we are. God told me, um, what's this, July? So maybe about a month ago. Behind the label was done. And I spoke about this in the last Faith Haven discussions a little more. So if y'all want to go check that out, I will leave the link in the description. But behind the label was done. Um, and you walking into a faith-based podcast. This is what I need you to do. So I told y'all in the last one that I had an announcement coming soon, and here it is. I am transitioning into a faith-based podcast. It's not the Faith Haven discussions, it's actually something else. And there will be more details about it soon, and I will post about it on here when it launches and things of that nature. But yeah, so I took out the time and I planned it out and all of the things. Like I have episode 1 through 10 already outlined, y'all. So with that, thank you, But just like you can't even clap at the same time because I have them outlined, but I ain't did nothing. I think that the dilemma with me is I be wanting to be so strategic with things. And I think this is like a lot of people. It's not even just me. Like we want to plan, but you can only plan so much before you need to get started. So how much you gonna plan before you actually do something? Cause okay, you got the first 10 episodes. Why you ain't recording? Ooh, girl, cause this conviction is going crazy right now. Like, and I've been like seeing like the Lord been convicting me about this all week. So I have I'm in this group chat with some women of faith, and I was watching this podcast the other day, and she was in Psalms. Oh, do you remember which Psalms it was? Go to the chat. Go to the chat. So I was watching a podcast, and I'm gonna link the episode to the podcast in the description as well because I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But she referenced Psalm 127, and it says, "Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards stand watch in vain." And basically, it's just she was just saying how like she's doing all this work, and it's not work that the Lord is calling her to do, and she's not really seeing the fruits of that work. She's more so getting a burnout, and how the Lord was just telling her basically like, yeah, you feeling burnt out because I'm not calling you to do any of the things that you're doing. And when I say oh Lord, I know we all do that, but that's not the point of this. It was just anyways, okay. My bad, y'all. I just felt like I needed to include that because it was so good and it was so true. Like we working on things, or I'm doing all these things that the Lord is not telling me to do, and I'm wondering why there's no movement, or I'm wondering why I'm not producing any fruits. And the same thing with behind the label. I'm wondering and asking God, like, dang, why is this not, why is this not doing no numbers? Why is this not, why are people, I understand people are gonna fake support you anyways. Like I get all that. But like the platform is not growing, and I'm seeing, and this is no slander to this podcast, but my podcast was called Behind the Label. And it's this podcast that I came across a few months ago that's called something very similar. I'm not going to say what they're called, but they're called something very similar. And they do the same thing that my podcast was doing. And it was people that I was supposed to interview on my podcast that basically just said, forget me. And they went on this podcast. And I'm just like, why is all this, like, why is this happening? Like, and it was just because, girl, you built it in vain. I ain't call you to do that. So you're not going to produce any fruits from that. Like, one of the women in the chat, shout out to you, Nevaeh, she basically was like, yeah, the God had you do behind the label as a startup into what he actually had for you. And I've never thought about it on that spectrum. And it was just like, oh, maybe you're right. So this is why it's not producing fruits, because it was never supposed to be a long-term thing. It was always supposed to be a thing where this was the season for that, but now I'm calling you into a new season or something else. Because truthfully, honestly, behind the label did not glorify God. Now I will say within season 2, it was a lot of people within faith on season 2, which I absolutely love. Like we were talking about God in almost every single episode of season 2. Not even understanding that he was foreshadowing, like, yeah, this is what you're about to be talking about. I didn't even put that together till right now. You like God was heavy in those conversations in season 2, and he used that as a means to transition me into this new podcast. Saying all that to say, I ain't been doing it like I said earlier. I have been feeling like I am not the person for the job. I've been trying to figure out or not even trying to figure out too much, but I've been pondering the question of why did you choose me to have a faith-based podcast? Yes, I can talk passionately about God. I was telling you yesterday, one thing I do is I would sit and I would talk about God. And I know that annoys some people, but y'all better check y'all spirits. Anyway, for real, y'all better get them demons up out of y'all if I'm aggravating y'all by talking about God. But that's neither here nor there. Um, it's like but I've only been called and saved 7 months. On top of not even just me being called 7 months or saved 7 months, the first 3, 4 or those of these 7 months, I wasn't even rocking with Jesus for real. I'm like, Jesus. I really don't, I still, like, I wasn't even sure. And you telling me, like, you calling me to do this? But one thing about God, He gonna equip you. I mean, that's just, He gonna give you exactly what you need. And I guess I just have to start understanding that a little more. Like, you might not feel equipped, but Moses wasn't equipped either. And he led them out of Egypt. Did he not? Moses killed somebody and ran up out of Egypt himself. And God used him. And he delivered a whole nation of people. Like, don't be like Jonah. Don't be like Jonah. And I feel like I'm Jonah. Like, that's what it's like. That's what it feels like in a way. Like, I don't know if y'all are familiar, but just a little backstory about Jonah. I know we all are like Jonah in the whale, but like, let's get deeper into Jonah in the whale. Jonah called himself not wanting to do what God told him to do. That's why he ended up in the belly of that whale. Jonah said, nah, you know what? I'm going to just go this way. I ain't going to go the way you telling me to go because I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to do my own thing. It was cool hollering at you though. Like, I still love you and stuff like that, but I'm about to do me because I don't want to do what you told me to do. He got up on that boat with the men and everything, all hell broke loose. The roaring waters, all of the things. God, they threw that man overboard. That whale swallowed Jonah right on up and took him exactly where he didn't want to go. Because God said, I got something for you to do. Let me go up in here to go to Jonah. Because I read that. I was like, oh, God gets down, he don't play. But I also feel like that's not even the case for everybody. Like, because we have free will, like at some point if you just keep walking away from what I'm calling you to do, I'm gonna just use somebody else to do it. I'm not gonna fight you because I gave you free will. And it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel discouraged. It's okay to feel like you're not fully equipped, but speaking for myself and everybody else, God will equip you with the things that you need that He's calling you to do. Period. Like, why would I call you to do it if I'm not going to walk you through it? Why would I call you to do it if you're going to fail? Why would I call you to do it if you're not the person to do the job? You better be like Moses and tell him, like, hey, can you speak for me? Provide me with the wisdom. Like, we got to really get into that prayer closet and ask for those tools and ask for those things, because otherwise, like, you're gonna be like me or you're gonna be like Jonah. You don't want to be like Jonah. You don't want to get forced into doing something. I was watching a sermon from 2819 church pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. I don't know if y'all familiar with him, but if you not, go get him because he be speaking. Oh Lord, he be speaking. But this ain't, anyways. So I'm watching the sermon and he basically was just saying how he didn't want to pastor. He didn't feel like he was equipped to pastor, and he put off pastoring for 4 years. And God spoke to him and said, Like either you're gonna do what I'm telling you to do, or we don't have to continue on doing this at all because you're not obeying what I'm telling you to do. Like, I gave you instructions. Respectfully do what I said. Like, why do we have to go through all of this? And that just be the enemy planting those seeds, wanting you to feel discouraged so you won't walk in the purpose that God is calling you to do. Because it's taken away from him at the end of the day. He don't want you to do that. Why would he? You know? I mean, like, why would he? Let's be for real. Why would he? Jeremiah 29. I'm talking about Jeremiah. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord." Ooh, that was Jeremiah 29:11 through 14. I just had to read the rest of that because that was good. That was good. But that's so true. Like, it does. It really does. Cause it resonates. And then it's just like when you really know God, you know that that's the case. Like, I understand it being hard sometimes to trust him, but like, why would he lead you somewhere that's not to, yeah, to I like that, to a place of failure? Why would I do that to you? I don't want to. He said, I plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. He gonna give you everything. You just gotta trust him, trust his will, trust his ways, and do it scared. Do it afraid. Like, it's cool to feel that. Don't sit in that. Okay. Don't let the enemy win. Because that's what he won't. Like, you not walking in your purpose can be stunting someone else's. God is using you to talk to others, or using whatever he has for you to call others back into the kingdom. So now you messing with the whole hookup because you not listening. Dang, like, I need you to reach however many people so their souls can be saved. These are not this, like, we're playing you playing with people's salvation at that point when you're not walking in a purpose that God has placed on your life. What if somebody played with your salvation? What if somebody didn't walk in their purpose before you got saved? Whoever it may have been that helped you come to that point, beyond, not beyond, but besides God, because it's all ultimately God. But for me, like, and how I got saved, like, just imagine if the person that kind of, or not the person, it was my man. But anyways, imagine if, you know, he didn't do certain things that God told him to do in order for me to get back into church and things of that nature. Then I would not be sitting right here. Like, people really, it be God, but God works through people in order for people to get their salvation. Like, we are literally saving souls out here. Stop playing with people's salvation. And that goes for me too. Stop playing with people's salvation. You have a mission. I gave you a mission. I need you to do this because these times right now are very tricky. And I don't know. Like, I don't know how much y'all read y'all Bible, but I be in this Bible, and what it look like outside, I can't call when God coming back. Can't call that because don't nobody know. He said he gonna come like a thief in the night. But I was looking. Hey, he could roll up through here tomorrow, and that ain't nothing to play with. So don't let your disobedience cost you everything. because you can live the life that God has for you, or you can live the life that you want to have for yourself. And nothing outside of God's will lasts very long. And I've seen that firsthand with my own two eyes. So, that is all I have. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I gotta shout out to you because that wasn't me right now. That was all the Holy Spirit. For real. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. I hope you took something away from this. Um, and yeah, I will catch y'all. Oh, hold on. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share. Cause I know y'all know somebody that may need to hear this. So share, spread this good news, spread this word. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next Faith Haven discussions. Peace. Is this shit real?